Hi guys, welcome to Website Wednesdays. This week I'm talking about image blocks. So we're going to take a closer look at image blocks and how you can use them to diversify your website in different ways. So image blocks is one of the most important blocks you're going to be using on your website. Obviously images are a visual way of getting people's attention to your page. So you want to incorporate images onto your website page so that you can create interest and a cool visual aesthetic on your web page. However, it is important to note though that just having images is not enough. You need images that relate to your brand, have a meaning behind it and have a purpose. So if you are using images, you need to make sure that it is on brand and that the images have a purpose within the page and around the content that you've got on your website. But obviously, image blocks are going to be something that's used more widely than some other blocks, along with like text blocks and spaces and stuff like that. So I'm going to delve into 7.1 today for a change, and we're going to have a closer look at image blocks in Squarespace 7.1. There are a lot of similarities between how you can change and alter your image blocks in 7.1 and 7, so I will also mention that as we go along for those that are actually using Squarespace 7. But anyway, I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and this is a trial Squarespace 7.1 site that I'm using. So it's not a client site or anything. It's just a site that I use to sort of play around with and test new things out. So what I've got here is I've already got an image block on my page here. And 7.1 is a little bit different in how you can add sections into your pages. So I'm just going to edit this page first, and then you can see there's like these little plus buttons, so that means that you can add a section. So I've got a section up here. This is a section with an image block, and then there's a blank section down here. So I'm just going to add in another section, and it will come up with a pop-up. So this is different to how 7 works. 7.1 will give you a list of different things that you can add. And for this purpose, I want to add an image. So I'll click the images, and Squarespace 7.1 will give me a whole bunch of different kind of layouts in images that I can use. So there's a few like side-by-side images, image with text, text over image, and that's like the one that you saw earlier. So we're just going to select this one here. And now that image block has been added as a section. But you can add multiple blocks in a section. So if I were to actually add an image, another image in this section here, I'd then do what I usually do in 7 as well, is click that little line, and then it'll come up with my pop-up, and then my image block is in my basic blocks, and then I click image, and then it would add my image block. But obviously this means I need to add an image, so I'll just cancel this for now and work on the images that we've currently got in my 2 sections here. So when I'm looking at the section here, I'm going to edit the image block by just hovering over the little pencil icon here, and now it's going to bring about my little pop-up for my image block. So this pop-up for the image block is exactly the same in 7.1 and in Squarespace 7. It has exactly the same tabs, exactly the same functionality. So you can easily do any sort of edits in this little pop-up between both 7 and 7.1. So we've got our image here, image editor. If we clicked onto that, that would take us to another window where we could edit our image in terms of colors, opacity, brightness, if we wanted to make it black and white. So right now it's taking a little while to think. Oh, here we go. So we can adjust things like brightness, contrast, saturation, And you can go here, crop your image, and then there's even filters that you can change your image to. So let's maybe look at changing it to a black and white image. Voyager, perfect. Can change the strength of it. Maybe let's do 80%. Fine. Okay, save. And then you will see your image update eventually after it's stopped thinking, and it will show up in the preview to what you've actually changed the settings to. Perfect. There you go. Aha, right. So in this file name section, this particular image has a very random file name, but what you'll want to do is put in a file name that matches your business and also describes what the image is. But I'll just leave that for now. We'll go into the Design tab. So the Design tab offers you a couple of different ways that you can display your images. So here we've got the collage as it's sort of grayed out. Inline is just an image on its own with like a caption at the bottom. Then we've got poster, which is the image with text overlay, and card, text next to image, overlap, that's the overlapping of the text onto the image here, collage, which is what we had earlier, and stack, which has the text below the image. So if you're just wanting to add in a regular image, no muss, no fuss, very simple, you'd only be using the inline, which is the ordinary way to add in an image. But at least you can actually create a bit of diversity if you want to have an image that's got text over it, and it can create a bit more of a colourful and diverse layout if you use some of these other layouts to edit your image. To edit the text, you literally just put your mouse in where the text is and it will create a cursor, and you can then select the different type of headings that you're using and alter your text and edit your text that way. You can also add things like a button, and you can create a link for that button as well over here. You can change your positioning to be left or right. So it gives you a couple of things that you can do to create a bit more of a customized way in which you're displaying your images. And then animations is quite cool. Animations means that you can animate how the image and even the text here as well shows up on your screen when somebody gets to that point on your page. So we've got fade in. You can do a custom, and a custom is quite cool when you've got an image of this type, because you can animate the text and the image. So if you've got the slide up and then slide from left, it animates the text and image at the same time. So that's quite cool. So I'm just going to apply this. So what you'll notice is that the colors and the font is already been defined here. So in Squarespace 7.1, you define your fonts and your colors in a different area than what you do with 7. So that's not something I'm going to go into depth at this point, but I just wanted to show you the image block itself and what you can do to change the look of your image and how you can use this in your layout to tell, I guess, the story of your brand through images and using text as well. So yeah, that's everything that I'm going to cover today for image blocks and a closer look at the image block tab. Obviously, there's so much more that you can do in terms of the page and styling of it, but that's a story for another day. I hope you enjoyed this week's Website Wednesday. As per usual, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments of Instagram. This will also be on my YouTube channel, and I will also put it on the blog with some handy screenshots for you to follow. Thanks for catching me today for Website Wednesdays, guys. Have a great day. Bye.